Good morning, everybody. It's Jane from Chalk Mercantile and Surface Anthology. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. I have a really fun and really perfect for the season project I want to show you guys today. I'm going to show you how to paint terracotta pots to look like they're aged and they've got moss growing on them, and it's really easy, like really easy, and they get more and more beautiful with age. Let me show you a picture of, let's see. This is a pot that I painted. It's a huge terracotta pot that I painted years ago with Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint, and the green is actually natural. It kind of grew by itself, and every year I put a geranium in it, and at the end of the year I pull them out, and it just gets more and more beautiful with age. I did not put any kind of finishing on that pot. It's just the milk paint. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So now let me go back. And how do I get rid of, let's see. Oh dear. A, B, no, and A, B. There we are, perfect. So what you're going to need for this project are some terracotta pots, and make sure that they have no glaze on them. I'm sure you can do this on old terracotta pots or new ones, but make sure there's nothing on that terracotta because you really want it to absorb the paint. And then I'm using Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint in one of her light colors. This is the Farmhouse White, which is perfect. And the green, I'm using the boxwood. And this really gives you that authentic kind of yellowy green color that we want, that we're going for. Okay, some water, and I'm using a little natural sponge. You don't need a brush. In fact, this is so much better because it just gives you that speckled on, aged, no brush mark look. So get yourself one of these. This is a small one. I sell the really big ones on the Chalk Mercantile website. You could rip those up. But this is like a little, it would be like a makeup sponge size. Okay, first thing you do, you mix up your paint. And I have mine, it's the normal, I don't know, I guess it's like watered down. It's like heavy cream consistency, but I'm using a wet sponge. So I'm dipping it in the water and wringing it out, not all the way. We want it to be a little bit damp. And you just dip it in to your paint, and you just start stippling the milk paint on. These literally take just a few minutes. And because the sponge is wet, you're going to get this wonderful irregular application of the milk paint. And the milk paint is 100% natural. I've had plants in mine and they've been fine. My pots stay out all year long, and I'm in New England, so the weather is crazy. And they just get more beautiful as they stay outside and age. The milk paint does cure like all paints. So when you first do this, I would wait a little while, maybe a week, before you put any plants in it. You could sit it outside and just let it rest and cure. All right, so you see what I'm doing? I'm just stippling this on. Now, you don't have to use white. You could do these in beautiful colors, blues, greens, anything that goes with your exterior decor. But that is it. So I'm gonna let this dry, and if I don't like how it looks, I can always go back in with some of that Farmhouse White and paint on some more. Here's one. That's dry. And now I'm going to put on the green, the boxwood green paint. So again, I'm just rinsing out my sponge. This will be a great project to do outside. You can get kids involved because it's easy. You just really can't make any mistakes. Okay, and there's our boxwood, and I'm just dipping my sponge in and just applying that down at the bottom. And if you look at like the picture, and I'll put that in the comments later when this posts, it's irregular. It's not all the way down to the bottom. So be creative, be artistic, just, you know, whatever you feel like doing will work. All right, so that's it for the green. Now we have to let that dry, and we're gonna do a little wet distressing now. So here's the pot that I did earlier, and this is where I started kind of wet distressing, and that means I take the sponge, rinse it out well, and you do this when your pot is completely dry. Let's go to an area that I haven't done yet, and we're just gonna lift a little bit of that. If you remember the picture that I showed you, the top, you know, the white was kind of worn away. So I'm just gonna go in and tap this, and you'll see it starts to lift the paint. And just keep moving that sponge around and see what happens here. And it's like completely authentic. It's really beautiful. Rinse again, keep the sponge. This is the time you want to keep the sponge clean because we don't want to redeposit the paint. And then I can come down and just blend away a little bit. Less is more because remember, this being out in the weather is going to lose some of the pigment, some of the paint. But look at that. I mean, it's super authentic. How cute would a little red geranium be in this, or white? You could do those big giant pots that have the swags on them, as long as they're not glazed, don't have any kind of finish on the terracotta. So that is literally, you could do a bunch of these pots in a half an hour. Let them stay out for a week to kind of cure. Put your plants in and you're ready to go. So let's go over again what I used. Plain terracotta pots, Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint in Farmhouse White, and then I just, I have a little bit of boxwood here. You use very, very little paint. You see how far this goes. I maybe put in a tablespoon, and I have lots of paint. So when you do this project, don't mix up a ton of paint because a little goes a long way. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please go over to surfaceanthology.com and check out my new box subscriptions that I'm really proud of. There's the Painted Block of the Month. That's the Barn Quilt subscription box. So every month you get a brand new design, new colors, shipped to your door, and you get to go see the video tutorial I do, and we have a private Facebook group also. And also my Merry Makers Ornament of the Month Club, and it's the same thing. You get it shipped to your door once a month, this whole kit filled with really cool stuff, and you make a number of ornaments each month, and it's a lot of fun. And the Surface Anthology membership, for those of you that are painters and want to really explore decorative painting, heirloom, authentic style painting, is my membership, where we go deep diving into different techniques of decorative painting every month. We cover chalk paint, milk paint, Venetian plaster, all kinds of different paints, and it's a lot of fun, and there's a bunch of really wonderful perks that go along with that. So you can check those out at surfaceanthology.com. If you want to pick up any of this stuff to make your pots, go to chalkmercantile.com. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday. Happy painting.